Hey jabronis, this is Comics Dirt Sheet, and I am your host, the amazing, the incredible, the fabulous, and yet still remarkably humble Captain Hillbilly. On this show, we'll be reviewing comic books, but only ones that deal with the subject of professional wrestling or the wrestlers themselves. I'll be giving you my informed opinion on whether the comic is a pinfall or just a botched move. And since I'm Captain Hillbilly and my opinion is better than everyone else's, you can count on it to always be right. So, let's get to it, and I will see you ringside. Okie dokie. Today, we're locking up with Holy Terror from Image Comics. It is by writer John Kasky and artist Phil Hester. Now, the plot involves the forces of darkness are gathering their army for a big push against the mortal world. And into this convention of werewolves, zombies, and assorted creeps is tossed one Max Brody, a second-generation wrestler. Now, Brody is in possession of a cursed wrestling mask, which is slowly turning him evil. The mask actually plays a really important part in the Dark Forces' plan to conquer the world. Things get even more complicated when the original owner of the cursed mask wants it back. The story, it reminds me a lot of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series. I'm just saying it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying. Also, both the writer and the artist are on record as being more than just casual fans of pro wrestling. One of their goals, I read, was to really create a melding of the worlds of comic books and wrestling. And I think they do that just because their respect and knowledge for the sport of wrestling do show. Okay, now that was the pros. Now for the cons. I'll give you an example here. I really don't care for Phil Hester's artwork. Now I know I'm in the minority on that one. A lot of people do, but I just want to flip through. I don't want to give too much away here, but. I remember he did the artwork for Kevin Smith's Green Arrow run, and I didn't like it then either. I'll give you a few more looks here. I just think his art, I personally find his art a distraction from the story as opposed to something that's supposed to enhance it. I just think it's too cartoony for serious subjects and too, unpolished for more comedic stuff. I'll give you now. Although the covers now, I'm not particularly a fan of his art, but the covers are kind of nice. I do like those a little bit. But for the interior, not for the interior. I read this story and I can only imagine what someone on the level of Gene Colan or Bernie Wrightson, or maybe Mike Plogue, what they could have done with it. I should also mention the comic only ran 2 issues at Image. It left the story uncompleted. Now, I've heard something about it being continued by an indie label, but as of this episode, I haven't been able to find any more info. So that may change. So now the big question is it a pinfall or just a botched move? Well, it was close. It went back and forth, but I'm going to give Holy Terror the pinfall. It's got a good story. It moves at a decent clip. And though I am not crazy about the artwork, I've seen a lot worse on this show. So that's Holy Terror. Okay, well, that kind of wraps it up for this episode. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It's not like you got anything better to do. And leave me a comment if you have a book you want reviewed. If you just want to tell me, how great I am. If you want to ask a question like, how'd I get to be so great? Then leave a comment. Until then, this is Captain R.W. Hillbilly, the world's greatest living wrestling manager, And as always, I will see you ringside.